You know, I think the key to being a really good teacher is to be able to identify key practices that really help students learn. And so I think that, being able to elicit student thinking, think about students thinking is like a key thing. And another thing is formative. Hello, Nicole, are you even paying attention to me?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was catching up on some tweets from educators in my professional learning network.
I was saying really important stuff.
Yeah, well, my PLN includes a lot of smart people who help me become a better educator, and honestly, most of them are way smarter than you.
That was pretty rude, but can you share with me some of your follows? I want to be smarter too. And I think social media is a really important part of everybody's lives now, and so we have to think about what role it has in education. For example, how we can manage our attention span. Nicole, are you paying attention?
What? Oh, were you talking to me?
I'm Dan Krutka. I'm a teacher educator who researches how teachers and students can use social media in education. Nicole and I met initially because we both had a mutual interest in understanding how social media can be mindfully used in education. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to our social media assignment that we created, which will help you grow personally and professionally in your social media uses and start to plan how you can do the same with your students.
Hi, I'm Nicole D'Amico, and I'm a teacher educator interested in looking at ways that mindfulness can impact our use of technology. Mindfulness is defined as paying attention in the present moment, non-judgmentally to our experiences. So why does that apply to technology? In an age where we have 24-hour access to media and content, it's important for us to be able to make decisions about the content that we consume. And so this impacts the way that we as teachers think about how we use social media for our own purposes, but also the ways that we think about organizing those same experiences for our students. In his book, Mindful Tech, David Levy says, finding a healthy balance to understanding how to use our devices and apps to its best effect, as well as when to abstain, requires us to ask probing and sometimes critical questions. It's our intent to get to those probing and critical questions throughout this Twitter assignment. So we're going to take some time to explain the aspects of the social media assignment because there are different parts that you're going to look at and complete over the course of the semester. The first part is the mindful self, where you'll engage in initial explorations and inquiries about social media from a beginner's mind, including reflecting on your own social media use and the influence of social media in your professional and personal lives. The first activity is an initial exploration. It'll just be a survey that will ask you to consider your beliefs and assumptions about the role of social media in your life and how that affects your beliefs about how it is integrated in teaching and learning. The second assignment is a social media diary, and we're going to ask you to take a few days to look at the ways that you use social media. So you'll keep a diary that is a representation of your social media uses within a 24 to 48 hour period. So some of you who are heavy social media users might fill up the diary more quickly than others. In addition to including the diary, we want you to write a 300-word reflection where you unpack trends, observations, and practices that you notice as you analyze your entries. And we've included an example so that you can get a perspective of what that social media diary might look like.
Part 2 of this assignment is called the Mindful Exploration. Now that you've reflected on your personal social media experiences, we want you to start considering and engaging professionally. So you will start this by joining the conversation by setting up a Twitter account and following educators on Twitter. How will you know who to follow? Well, we've created a list of required and optional accounts to follow, but you should also seek out people, professional organizations, authors, and others who you think you could learn from. For example, I follow a lot of social studies teachers and professors, social media researchers, classroom teachers, educational news reporters, and people with diverse perspectives that I want to learn from. Once you've started to follow people, you're also going to start tweeting twice a week using our class hashtag. One tweet should be an original that adds to the class conversation. You may share a quote from a reading and add a question. You may bring in an outside resource or pose a provocative question. Just make sure your tweets are substantive and that they help move the class discussion forward by adding new ideas and questions to the class. I know what you're thinking. You're still a little bit confused on what to tweet. So we have one more part of the assignment, which is called the Twitter PLN exploration. In this part of the assignment, you're going to look at other educators' accounts who you've chosen to follow, and you're going to look at how are they using Twitter. We provided a list of questions that will help you in kind of analyzing the accounts. Questions like, what purpose in general do the accounts you follow seem to have for tweeting? And also, do they use hashtags to connect with others? Hopefully these questions will help you really think about your own professional social media use also.
The final portion of the project is meant to engage you in a series of reflection activities that will assist you in making a plan for your personal and professional social media use moving forward. In addition, we hope it also provides you a foundation for considering how you might use social media in your classroom with your own students. So the first assignment under the Mindful Reflection is the Techno-Fast. And this might be a tough one because it asks you to give up a social media platform like Twitter, Snapchat, or Instagram, for example, or a technology device. So that could be your cell phone, for those of you who are really brave, a laptop, or a tablet. We ask you to choose a time period of between 24 and 48 hours. After doing this fast, you will write a reflection of the experience where you consider questions like, which social media platform or device did you give up? For how long? What do you think was gained or lost, and how did you feel about the experience? And then we ask you to apply it to your teaching. How would you or have your future students do something like this? The next task is the Reflection and Social Media Plan, and this is really aimed to challenge you to think about how participating in the use of Twitter as a PLN can function as a foundation for your personal and professional uses. You might consider questions like, how might your professional use of Twitter translate to other platforms? What affordances are most beneficial in using different social media practices? What drawbacks does social media use present? And what do you need to be able to teach students how to mindfully use social media themselves? During this assignment, you will consider your tweeting throughout the course of the semester and consider aspects of this assignment that you might use in your development of lesson planning and construction of your class moving forward. Finally, the final survey will function as a way for you to take the assignment as a whole and reflect on how you're thinking about the incorporation of social media has changed or shifted throughout the course of the semester.
We hope this video will help you get the most out of this social media assignment throughout the semester. You know, you'll probably get more out of this assignment the more you put into it. If you look at tweeting as a chore, then you may just kind of see this assignment as a burden. But if you kind of look at this as an opportunity to connect with other colleagues and scholars and people who can help you learn in your field, you may develop a professional learning network that can benefit you for years to come.
We hope this helps to explain our social media assignment. Happy tweeting!
We'll be collecting data throughout the semester to help us improve and revise this assignment in future semesters. You can choose whether you want us to use your data in our end research analysis, but either way, we'll be giving you a lot of feedback. These birds are crazy.
Yeah. I don't want to catch something. Oh, I didn't tell you. I'm sorry.